This is going to be an enormous industry in California, and we've never seen anything like this before.
We are on the brink of a major change, the beginning of recreational cannabis sales in California. In just days, marijuana will be available for sale legally across the state.
You know, we've done several stories looking at the law and what it says. Tonight, ABC 7 News anchor Kristen Z has the information that you need to know before you light up.
On January 1st, California will become the latest state to legalize cannabis for recreational use. This new industry is expected to bring in $4 billion a year, but it also brings in a long list of new rules that you need to be aware of.
You know, this is not just going to be full legality without regulations.
Josh Drayton is with the California Cannabis Industry Association.
You know, many of us that have been activists in this world for a long time have been waiting for this, but it's going to be much different than a lot of folks anticipated.
The new rules start with limits. Californians aged 21 and older are allowed to carry up to 28.5 grams of cannabis and 8 grams of concentrates. You will be allowed to grow up to 6 plants at home, but those plants must be in a locked area that's not visible from outside the property. Cannabis is still illegal on the federal level. Employers in California can fire you for violating drug-free workplace rules. You can buy pot from any licensed dispensary, but there will still be dispensaries that only sell to patients with a medical need. But there's also a catch here. Only about 30% of the cities and counties in the state have passed regulations that will allow for the sale of recreational pot in the new year.
For those areas that have banned it, the state won't be able to issue a temporary license there.
The cannabis industry estimates 50% of the sales of cannabis will be made by companies that deliver it. But be warned, local communities have the ability to ban weed deliveries. The new regulations also don't change the state law. You still aren't allowed to smoke weed in public. You will be allowed to smoke it in a private home, but be warned, landlords can restrict smoking on their property. When it comes to driving, cannabis will be a lot like driving with alcohol. Open containers of pot, unless it's in your trunk, can get you arrested.
We are concerned that this law might put more impaired drivers out there.
The California Highway Patrol says nearly all of their officers have been trained to look for drivers under the influence. Law enforcement also is warning people that today's pot is much more potent than it was even 10 years ago. They're urging users to be cautious before they drive. Californians should also be prepared for lots of changes to these laws as the state settles into this new normal.
You know, this is going to be many years of working at the state level, working, with localities, and really, making this go as smooth as possible. This is going to be an enormous industry in California, and we've never seen anything like this before.
Kristen Z, ABC 7 News.